Carnell Tate had one 100-yard game last year. It was against Nebraska. He had 4 catches for 102 yards. The only other games he had at least 60 yards. Akron, he was 4 for 58, no, 1 touchdown, so he was barely under 60. Marshall, 4 for 64. Indiana, 4 for 68. Michigan, 6 for 58, so right under 60. And then the Texas game where he had 7 for 87. So he had one game with over 90 receiving yards. And sure, we can chalk some of that up to the passing game was funneled through a generational athlete in Emeka Ibuka. But I just think he was a really good receiver last year. And to the point you're talking about I'm not overly worried about maybe this is who Carnell Tate is, but I don't think it would be, I think it would be too scarlet and gray colored to just assume 100% Carnell Tate's going to take that next step and be a guy who's 1,000-yard receiver. I think you have to leave open some level of credence to what if Carnell Tate is as good as T. Higgins was, which was a second-round draft pick. And T. Higgins is a pretty good NFL player, but it's not a first-round draft pick. And that's as you said before, this is the new standards. You're a first-round draft pick here.
Yeah, I think that does linger. And I think it's why when we talk about this stretch of Ohio State receivers going in the first round, this is probably the one we point to where, like, maybe we have some questions, right, of what's going to happen and can he be that next guy? I think the one thing that does stand out to me about Carnell is looking at those numbers. They're not great when you go game by game. Like, nothing's super flashy. Like you said, only one 100-yard game. He caught 78% of the targets that he got. And I'm trying to pull up Emeka's numbers or JJ's numbers here from last year, see what his percentage was in terms of receptions to targets. But like, that tells you that when asked to perform, Carnell Tate showed up. And if you're asking him to show up more often, he's shown you that he will. And I think that's where maybe some of that confidence comes from. So JJ had 76 catches on 105 targets, if I'm looking at this right. So that's about 72%. So in terms of like percentage wise, like how much did you deliver when you were asked to deliver? He's right up there with JJ in terms of what he did, slightly above. So I think that's maybe where some of that confidence comes from, is that like you give him a bigger role, you expect maybe that percentage goes down a little bit, but you expect him to kind of deliver to that same level. That's a pretty good season.